Happy Sunday, y'all. Chef Charlie here. And I mentioned in my other video that I was going to do a review on my sweet potato cheesecake. So here it is. And it's half gone. Coop doesn't like it, so who do y'all think ate it? Me. So since it's my pan, I'm going to eat out the pan. It's just something about when you know that the pie is yours, you just eat out of it. And you don't have to slice it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been slicing it. But you know what? The rest of the pie, I just think I'm going to dig right in the middle. I'm just going to... How about that? But I just want to come talk to y'all real quick. Know it's been a minute. And I decided to eat and review the sweet potato cheesecake. Now, this is my first time making sweet potato cheesecake. Now, I've made sweet potato pie before. And I've made cheesecake before, but I've never made sweet potato cheesecake together. So I looked up a recipe online, and I obviously, didn't follow the entire recipe. I just used it as, a guideline, and then I did what I wanted, and it came out perfect. Look, it's very, like, thick, but it's, like, it's creamy, and, one of the things that I did that the recipe didn't say to do was, I put more sweet potato in it than what the recipe called for. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to. I wanted to be more sweet potato-ish, but still have a cheesecake, feel. So it's very rich. And another thing is I didn't use graham cracker crust. Well, the recipe called for ginger snap crust, but I chose just the regular pie crust. This is a store-bought pie crust, but I chose the same one that I would for a regular sweet potato pie. So it still gave it that sweet potato pie vibe, but it's still sweet potato cheesecake, right? So look at it. Look in the inside. It's very thick, very smooth. When I took it out, it was still a little jiggly, so I had to let it cool. That's the cheesecake part of it. But look at how thick and rich it is, right? It tastes amazing. It's not too sweet, which I love, because one thing about sweet potato pie is it is sweet. My grandma makes the best sweet potato pies, period. And, who gonna fight me? She make the best. And so when I went into this, I was like, okay, Grandma, I'm gonna make you proud. And then my sister makes really good cheesecake. So I told her, I was like, yeah, you would be proud of me, if you were to taste this. I wasn't able to be with my family this year. COVID, they couldn't travel and everything. So that was kind of sad, but I still cooked a big meal as if they was coming, and they did not come, but the meal came out great. And this was the dessert. It's so good, y'all. I'm having my pie with white wine. Now, one thing is, I would usually eat sweet potato pie with like ice cream, milk, or whipped cream, right? But because this cheesecake is so rich, like, eating this with milk would just devastate my stomach, and it would not even, for my palate, it wouldn't do anything. So I know you're thinking, why white wine? White wine, it cleanses your palate in between every bite. So you enjoy something rich, and then you do a sip of wine. This is Pinot Grigio by Tisdale. All right. And you know what, y'all? I'm gonna start doing a wine tasting. I want to try and do a wine tasting every week where we match up the wine and the foods. So you can decide, okay, which wine is best for dessert, which wine is best for steak, etc., etc. But I really love Tisdale. It's not expensive at all, and it's still a very good quality wine. It's not a cheap wine that gives you a headache. Like, I can drink Tisdale, and it's not like super sweet. It's not one of those cheap wines that you would say get from a gas station and then you wake up with a headache the next day because it's so much sugar, you know. So I really love Tisdale. It's a California wine, so it's right here in the States. Pinot Grigio. All right. And it's very just mellow, and it's not, ooh, come on, let me read the description for you on the back. So it says, at Tisdale Vineyards, we know that life is full of quality experiences. We want you to take the time to savor them. Our experienced winemakers have created this light-bodied Pinot Grigio with a citrus fruit notes and a refreshing finish, perfectly paired with fresh salads, light pasta dishes, or grilled chicken. We invite you to enjoy Tisdale Pinot Grigio and share in life's endless possibilities. All right. So this is one of the Pinot Grigios that I really, really love. I drink the Chardonnay. I drink Chardonnay, and I like their Chardonnay specifically. But before I tried their Chardonnay, I wasn't really big on Chardonnay because I thought it tastes like beer. But their Chardonnay tastes really good, and it tastes like wine, so I can deal with it. But speaking of possibilities, y'all, one day I am going to own, mark my words, I'm going to own my own vineyard and winery, and I'm gonna name it after my daughter. Uh, Sorry, my hair is doing something weird there. But yes, let's get into the sweet potato pie cheesecake. I keep calling it sweet potato pie because it is very sweet potatoey, but don't get it twisted. It's a cheesecake. It tastes very much like a cheesecake, and the thing that it most resembles cheesecake is the richness and the thickness. A sweet potato pie would never be this thick. You know, it would never be this rich. Excuse me. Oh, but it's not too sweet. It's very rich. The recipe called for heavy cream, but I used half and half, so it's a little bit lighter. So imagine, this is already thick. Imagine if I had used heavy cream, it would be even richer. And another thing that I did different from the recipe was it called for pumpkin spice, but I used just plain cinnamon because I don't like pumpkin spice. Um, Pumpkin spice has nutmeg in it. I don't like nutmeg. So no nutmeg for me. And Coop just walked in the kitchen. Cooper, go to bed. I told you not to get up. This is routine. He gets up about 2 or 3 times a night after I put him to bed. But when he hears me talking to the camera, or he hears me talking and he thinks somebody is here, he'll get up and try to be nosy or whatever like that. So he don't want nothing. He fine. He just being nosy. But it pairs really well with this white wine. It would even go well with the Pinot Grigio from Tisdale as well if you're into wine. But like I was saying, I'm gonna do a wine taste. I want to start doing a wine tasting at least once or twice a month because I really do enjoy wines, and a part of my professional training was pairing wines with food with meals. So that's a muscle that I kind of want to exercise, and I want to flex that muscle a little more. Plus, I'm going to own my own winery one day, and so I definitely need to do more research, my own research, and inform myself a little more on those wines and wine tasting. But there's a whole process to wine tasting. There's this the swirl, then the sniff, then the sip, then the swish, then the spit. But I don't spit mine. I swallow it. Well, in the process, it's called spit slash swallow. So, depending on if you're a spitter or a swallower. You know, some people just literally want to get the essence of the wine. They want to get the flavor of the wine in their mouth and then spit it out. Especially if they think they're going to be drinking a lot of wine or tasting a lot of wine, they don't want to overdo it and get drunk, so they'll spit it. Me, I'm a sipper. I swallow my wine. I never spit it because it's wine. It tastes great. What is the point of spitting it? Okay, and I'm not at like a traditional wine tasting where spitting is normal. Okay, I'm at my house and I'm drinking my wine, so I don't know what you guys want from me. But anyway, yes, y'all. Thanksgiving was lit. It was me and Coop, and you know, in this COVID 2020 era, Thanksgiving was a whole beast of in and of itself. You know, you're emotional because you can't be with your family, but then you're grateful for what you do have. And it's a struggle. It's a back and forth struggle. It's like, I'm so happy that I'm grateful that I have my son, that we're in good health, that we have a roof over our heads. But then there's that struggle inside, that emotional pull of, wow, I really, really want to be with my family. I really want to just hug my mama. I just want to lay my head on my mama's lap and let her rub through my hair like she always does, you know. And then you have to deal with and struggle with that guilt of, you know, well, I should be grateful that I'm alive right now in this COVID 2020, or I should be grateful that I'm healthy, you know, which I am. But it doesn't invalidate the fact that, you know, you miss your family. And I have, well, yeah, in the beginning of 2020, I saw my mom. I went to Atlanta, I believe. I saw my family. So I've seen them this year, but it's just, I expected to see them at least a few more times this year. But it looks like I won't see them. It looks like I won't see them anymore this year, probably next year. And I have to accept that. I know that's my first time saying it out loud. Give me a minute. It's my first time saying that out loud, because I had that thought. I was like, I don't know. I might not see them anymore again until 2021. But as long as they're healthy and as long as they're safe, I'm grateful, you know. But I definitely still, you know, will voice the fact that I miss them very much. I want to be near them. And I feel like that's how everyone feels. And so I had me and my son for Thanksgiving. And then, I made food, and I gave people plates and stuff. But, you know, me and Coop, we sat at the table and had Thanksgiving dinner, and it was amazing, you know. And so it was good. It was really good. Um, and then the whole washing dishes experience. You guys won't believe me, but it took me, what's today, Sunday? 2 days. Nope. 3 days altogether to wash, because it ended. I finished them today. It took me 3 days to wash the dishes from Thanksgiving. I used every single dish, every bowl, every pot, everything in my house I used to make Thanksgiving dinner. And it took me 3 days. Why did it take me 3 days to clean the dishes? The sink got stopped up. Thanks to the amount of truffle butter that I used on that turkey, my sink got stopped up, and it like kind of was stopping up in the middle of me cooking, so it slowed down the cooking process a little bit. And then after everything was done, and then it came time to wash the dishes, it's like, okay, when I let out a sink of dishwater to make a new one, it wouldn't go out. So I'm plunging the sink and I'm trying to clean the sink out with dish detergent so that way I can get all the dishes clean. But that process, you know, of boiling water and pouring it down the sink so that way all of the water could go down, using lots of bleach and lots of detergent to try and get it to go down, you know, in the plunger to get it to go down so that I could clean the dishes. 3 days, y'all. 3 days it took me to clean up those dishes. But it is done, thank God. And that's another part too. Like, you know, when I cook at my mom's house, you know, I could get my sister to, or other people to clean dishes for me since I'm doing all the cooking. But anyway, y'all, this video is about to end. I love you guys so much. I just want to come and share with y'all about my sweet potato pie. And let y'all know, hey, Sundays with Chef Charlie is coming back. Sundays in Chef Charlie's Kitchen. We coming back. We about to be right here, right now. Okay. I'm gonna start doing those wine tastings for y'all. And yeah, man. I'll post the recipe that I use for this as well. All right, this is Chef Charlie. Love you guys.